To provide more insight into Pompeo's China visit and the relationship between Washington and Beijing, I'm joined now by Song Zhang. He is the Washington bureau chief for Shanghai Wen Hui Daily. Let's start there, briefing the top leadership in Beijing on what happened in the Singapore summit. The U.S., though, basically embracing an idea that the Chinese government's been pushing for some time, a freeze for freeze, in a sense, right?
Yes, it's been advocated by Chinese side in the last 2 years, and it is happening. And many North Korea watchers here in Washington are not happy, but I think China believes that's a very, very important decision by President Trump.
China's role moving forward, obviously, it's going to be a key player. Pompeo goes to South Korea first, then he goes straight to Beijing. It just kind of illustrates the importance of China in this whole role. How does, because you have to have the regional players involved in all of this, don't you?
I think so, and I think this is a very, very important meeting between President Trump and Kim, but this is only beginning of maybe 10,000 miles journey. And I think these two countries, America and North Korea, are still having tremendous suspicion and distrust upon each other. North Korea is very suspicious whether they will not be invaded in the future if they drop this nuclear arsenal. And at the same time, many in Washington are suspicious whether Kim is serious to eliminate all his nuclear arsenal. That's a big...
And of course, China wants to see an easing of tensions on the Korean Peninsula, but we had a story just the other day from Dandong. Obviously, there are a number of border cities where the economy can really be strengthened on both sides if these sanctions are lifted. Pompeo indicating he doesn't really want to lift those until denuclearization happens, but that could be a very long process.
Yes, I think he's talking about this, but I think America has to eliminate some economic sanctions with the development. If North Korea will be ready to ship out some nuclear warheads, or if they are going to destroy more sites, I think it's very natural that America has to do something to, including lifting some of the economic sanctions. I think that will happen.
The United States has relied on China to really help with the sanctions, this maximum pressure campaign,
yes.
Which has been instrumental in bringing about the Singapore summit. How does the United States continue to have that cooperative relationship with China while also threatening tariffs as they've continued to do?
I don't know tariff side whether it can be very much going hand in hand together with this issue, but I think only when China and America work together on this DPRK issue, this issue has a real chance to be solved. And China was very firm to implement this UN Security Council economic sanctions, and it will continue to do so. Even President Trump, he himself is not so sure whether he is having maximum pressure on DPRK at this moment.
And we heard Wang Yi say that there's been 4 decades of bilateral ties, much more common interests than differences. Is that message going to get through here in Washington, do you think?
I doubt. And if you talk to people here in Washington, D.C., I feel we are entering the stage of strategic competition. But as I believe, still China and America have a tremendous, a lot of things to work together. This DPRK issue is one of them, and we have many to work together. So I think it's better not to return back to the Cold War or any confrontation.
Song Zhang, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.